Hi, everybody.
Are live.
Actually,
Hey,
no.
who is the new host tonight?
I,
That
I
looks
guess.
like Baby Yoda. Well, some people say we're
Ew,
not.
ah, 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 ah,
Hi, Baby Yoda. You look like you've been like
The
knitted.
child, Steve. Don't call him Baby Yoda.
That's right.
The
People go crazy when you do that.
the obnoxious Yoda people or Star Wars people will yell at you for calling this Baby Yoda. Do not call this Baby Yoda. I don't care how adorable he is. I don't care that he looks like Yoda and he's baby, not Baby Yoda. He's
You
the
weren't yelled
child.
at for doing that, were you, Allison? You seem to be a little
Yes.
sensitive about that.
So actually, I need to kill my audio for you in here. Let me get rid of you and then explain. I could change that to this. So this was made for me by the wife of a listener. The listener's name is Craig Passman. His lovely wife, Leslie, made this for me because
She's
she's crazy.
she's got the knitting skills.
Crocheting,
Crochet.
actually.
Well, it's a crocheted Baby Yoda.
Yes,
Wow.
he's crocheted.
How can you tell?
And
He looks
because
a little
it's
like
crocheting.
a
It
little like
doesn't
a
look anything
sweater.
like knitting. Those are double crochets right there. His
Okay.
face is actually, yeah, I think those are single crochets. I don't know what that crazy stitch
How
is.
do
I
you
don't know
knit
what
those
that is. That's kind of fun.
eyeballs?
They're not knitted. It's crocheted. Anyway, isn't he adorable?
Yeah.
It doesn't look knitted because it isn't knitted. He's got little feet.
How many toes on the feet?
Oh, actually, oh my gosh, he does have little toes. Can you see
Three?
the little
Are there three like the fingers?
I think so. Yeah, there's three little like knots there. That's so freaking cute. Look at his little hand. Good little hand. And he's super soft and squishy. I love the NosillaCast ways. So I think maybe we'll have to ask Sandy, do you think he's worthy to sleep on the bed next to the pillow?
The apple pillow?
I think that would be the right way. Crotchety Yoda. Nice, Frank. Absolutely worthy, she says. All right. Well, I don't want to get up because I'm too lazy. So I am going to start doing the show. How's
Please
that
do.
sound to everybody? Oh, we didn't do roll call. We have Kevin and Klaus and Marty and Rick and Sandy and let's see, John Nassanut is here. Wheels Frank is here. Have we got has Rose waddled in yet?
She said she might be a bit late. She popped in.
Okay. Well, she called it in. She got a hall pass then.
Where is she? Running late, may make it later.
All right. Well, she's got a hall pass then, and I think that TJ is back. Hasn't been around in a while. Toby. So those crochet mallets. Oh, John said, I still don't see how someone could do that with all those crochet mallets. Nice. All right. I am going to start the show. I'm going to mute Steve. No, I'm not. You're not muting. You're going to have to mute yourself, Steve. It's not working. All right, here we go. Hi, this is Allison Sheridan of the NosillaCast podcast, hosted at podfeet.com, a technology geek podcast with an ever so slight Apple bias. Today is Sunday, February 16th, 2020, and it is show number 771. We've got a ton of great content for you this week. Steve has produced 4 more of the interviews we did at CES, and we even picked up an interview at Podcast Movement Evolutions in Los Angeles. And because I can't seem to stop creating content, I've got 2 stories to tell and a discussion with my buddy Dean that I'm sure you're going to enjoy. Tom Stephen, also known as Tom on the Internet from tomontheinternet.com, joined me this week on Chit Chat Across the Pond Light to tell the tale of how he went from knowing zero about programming to landing a full-time job as a web developer in 2 years of self-training. Then he talks about the things that surprised him that he learned as a developer in that first year. And listening to Tom, you'll feel like he's not extraordinary and like maybe you could do this too. That is, if you're willing to put the time and the energy into teaching yourself all of this with a laptop and the internet. I found Tom delightful and entertaining and inspiring, and I hope you will too. You can find this episode of Chit Chat Across the Pond Light in your podcatcher of choice, or you can listen right over at podfeet.com. By the way, Tom has joined our Slack community over at podfeet.com/Slack, so give him a shout if you have any questions or comments about this episode. All right, Steve, I need you to fix a typo for me. I copied and pasted that intro from the post about Chit Chat Across the Pond, and I said he's telling his tale, and I spelled it Tail.
Okay, let's see. Telling his
to tell the tale. So you don't need to fix it in this. I'd like it if you could fix it in the blog post about Chit Chat Across the Pond.
Okay. I will do that.
I got it here. And I think there's another typo. I said, that is, if you're willing to put the time and energy into teaching yourself all with the laptop and the internet. No, I guess that does work. All right.
Yep. Tail.
We're going to do Celestron next.
Okay. Post fixed.
And I did get a chance to show the Hindenburg guy this thing that drives me crazy about having to pull in or having to do all these double takes on copying and pasting. So he's going to try to get fixed for me.
Excellent.
Actually, he said, make a video. They'll never believe me. Comments about this episode. Well, you guys know that Steve and I went to Chile to see a total eclipse, so we like the stars and astronomy as much as just about anybody. So I'm here with Corey Lee of Celestron, and you've got an interesting product here. Why don't you tell us about it?
Yes, we do. So what we have here is the world's first smartphone-driven auto-locating telescope.
So this guy isn't just whatever I said his name was, Corey Lee. He's not just Corey Lee. He's the CEO of Celestron.
Yeah.
That guy was so unassuming. I loved this interview. All right,
it's pretty cool.
Nice
just to say a word about it, these are new telescopes Celestron's built where you attach your phone to it, and it aligns with the sky essentially, and gives you a map of the celestial objects, and allows you or gives you guidance how to point your scope to get any object that you would like. That's
so
visible
on
in
the screen you see basically it says, okay, you're pointed the total wrong direction. So it'll have you an arrow, and as you get closer and closer, it's zooming in closer and closer to the object that you said you wanted to see. So you're manually moving the telescope, but you're being guided, like Steve said, to go directly towards the telescope.
Right. And from what I can tell, it actually is getting a view from the scope into the iPhone to do the alignment. Although what you're seeing in the iPhone guidance image is a pre-arranged map of the heavens for that particular point in time. But it's
I don't
aligned.
think it takes pictures either, does it?
No, I don't think it does, but it does.
It'd be cool if it did.
It is really well. It's well aligned with the iPhone, so you know exactly where you're pointing. It's not like, well, I got to get the iPhone just right to get this pointed. It does.
Probably important not to bend it or anything. Break that
the
little
iPhone?
Adapter. No, the adapter, the thing that's connected to the telescope. Oh, and the other thing is they're not even expensive. I think the one was like $179.
Yeah, the low end one.
Yeah. Okay, muting.
It's on our website.
Thank you very much for your time, Corey.
Thank you.
I ran around everywhere telling people about this telescope after we heard from Corey. I thought it was just really, really fantastic. And the fact that it's not even expensive. I mean, for a telescope, this is pretty inexpensive. The other thing we learned after we finished talking to Corey is he wasn't just Corey who got sent to the trade show. That was the CEO of Celestron we were talking to, which that was really cool. Anyway, I thought that was one of the niftiest things we saw at CES. All right, next up, a virtual reality.
Check out this crocheting that John's wife did for a lightning cable. That's great.
Oh my gosh, that's hilarious.
Wow.
Oh my gosh, that would be so hard.
There's probably a trick to
How
it.
did she do that? I need to understand how she did that.
That's great.
did she make it and shove the thing through it, or did she make it on it? And how do you keep tight up on it? That's crazy.
You sure that's not knitting? I'm joking.
I gotta look at it up close, but if he says it's crocheting, it's crocheting. Oh, I see what she did. Yeah, no, she did that right on it. That is awesome. John, can you email me that picture? I want to. I'm afraid I'm going to forget and I'll lose it in here. Just stick in an email, and because I want to send it to Leslie and show her what other people have done.
If you want, I'll just pull it. I'll just pull it off the Discord.
He'd probably give me a bigger.
Yeah.
Yeah, This Week in Crochet. Well, actually, Steve, do you want to get my latest crochet projects? Maybe when I'm done.
We can't show those.
Oh, you're right. I can show one of them.
You're counting on them not coming to the
live show.
They never.
One
do.
of them won't.
One of them.
We saw it. Yeah, one might. Actually, as long as she's not here now, I think we could show it as long as you did it before she got here. All right. Well, I got to keep working. So the little bag is downstairs next to my chair, but the other one is at the foot of the bed.
Which one is it that you want to show?
Both. Is that a lot of work?
No.
Okay, fine. If he doesn't
I can
want to
do
bring
it.
I'll
I'll wait till you're talking so I can leave.
Yeah, I'm about to.
If I could just leave.
I thought that was one of the niftiest things we saw at CES. Well, I have to work this time for this interview. I appear to be on a rowing machine, and I'm talking to Becca Wesselman from Hydro. How are you doing today?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing good.
Multitasking. I'm impressed.
What am I on here?
So you're on Hydro, which is it's the live outdoor reality rower. It's a connected fitness device. So
I was actually on the rowing machine while I was doing that. That was a lot of fun. Okay, so I need to start up. This is something I am so excited. I am so freaking excited about what this next one. Something cool I figured out. That means it's adorable as Steve is part of a strong union. Is he unionized now? Oh man. All right, we'll do this one first. Thank you, dear. So I know this is plain, but this is for Nikki's baby, Nikki and Kyle's baby. She likes everything to be white. So I made her a blanket for herself that is the same color, and now this is a giant baby blanket just for her. And Lindsay's is much more elaborate. She's not in here, right?
I don't think so.
Haven't seen her. This one is much more elaborate. I've never done a pattern like this, but I'm having all kinds of fun. And I think that ends This Week in Crochet.
Twick.
Oh, you know what? I never put this back on center. There we go. I was feeling off center. I'm having fun with it. Yep. So don't tell the girls. All right. I'm going to put in a chapter mark. And I forgot to, let's see. Oh, maybe I could go do this one. Nope. There it is. Okay, putting in the chapter mark stuff. Did I tell you I'm excited about this next one?
No.
I'm very excited. Okay. Now, let's see. No. There. All right.
so much. Great job.
All right. Well, I had a lot of fun with that one. I'm not sure it's necessarily practical for everybody to have in their home, but if you want to go watch that video, I'm rowing the entire time. So anyway, we had fun with it. I am so excited about this next thing I figured out. I am just so tickled pink. Let me first start off with a problem to be solved. Podcasts are awesome because audio can be listened to while you're doing something else, like washing the dishes, washing the car, cycling the hills of Ireland, or commuting to work. But there's a lot of situations where listening either isn't an option or isn't the consumer's preferred option. If you're hearing impaired, podcasts are definitely not an option. Low bandwidth internet plans can make even downloading podcasts problematic. Maybe you just like to read. Maybe you heard a podcast but like to have a transcription of what was said so you could scan it more easily than, say, scrubbing through a long audio conversation to go back to something you remembered somebody said. Well, I talked recently about how to have a podcast transcribed through the freemium service Otter.ai, but that was a transcription after the finished product was produced. I got to thinking that it would be really cool if I could have an audio conversation on a service like, say, Skype, and I could have it transcribed real time by Otter.ai while I was doing that recording with someone. I'm happy to say that I figured out how to do just that. The screenshots for this tutorial are in the show notes, of course, are done with Skype, but there's no reason they couldn't be followed to do the exact same thing with Discord or a Google Hangout if those still exist by the time you see or hear this. Hey, sweetie pie, could you mute yourself, please?
Sure.
My
No?
mute button is not working for some reason.
Muting.
Okay. Does Android have a transcribe feature? It may, but you can't. Connecting a service like Skype where you've got two callers and everything, I think that would be pretty hard to do. First, let's go through what you're going to need in order to accomplish this task. You're going to need a Mac. I'm not saying you can't do this on a PC or on Linux. I just don't know anything about those tools to tell you how to do it. So this is going to be a purely Mac-centric solution. You're going to need a microphone. If you're going to record a call, you do have to have a microphone, and it can be your internal mic, but the quality of your mic will influence the quality of the transcription and, of course, your audio recording for your podcast. You're going to need a voice over IP application like Skype or Discord. You're going to need somebody to talk to. If you're not trying to transcribe a two-way conversation, you can just go to Otter.ai and push the button that says record. You don't need to do any of this. So this is specifically talking about two people or more on a voice over IP call and trying to transcribe that real time. Now, here's kind of the harder requirements. You're going to need Loopback and Audio Hijack, both from Rogue Amoeba. Both of these apps are, in my opinion, must-haves for any podcaster using a Mac. I absolutely would not be able to do my shows without them. Audio Hijack by itself keeps me from having to use a mixer to create my shows. I know some people use both, but I've been able to avoid using a mixer just because I have Audio Hijack. So let's talk about what these two different tools do. Loopback from Rogue Amoeba is an application that allows you to create virtual audio devices by combining real physical audio devices and applications into one virtual device. Loopback will run you $99. Audio Hijack from Rogue Amoeba allows you to capture audio from your voice over IP application, such as Skype, and your real microphone into the virtual audio device created by Loopback. So you create the device with Loopback, but then you need to capture the audio from your application and your mic and shove it into that virtual device. So Audio Hijack by itself is $59. So $99 and $59. However, if you buy both Loopback and Audio Hijack together, they sell them in a bundle for a total of $130. So that's a pretty good deal. You get $30 off. Finally, you're going to need an Otter.ai free account. Now, we mentioned before that Otter.ai is a web service that allows you to import audio files or record directly on the site and receive a transcription of the audio. You'll remember that I did a full review of Otter.ai, which I recommend reading so you understand how this amazing AI-based transcription works. Otter.ai has a subscription service, which I told you about, which will give you the ability to create SRT caption files for videos. But to create just this text transcription I'm talking about, the service is free for 600 minutes per month. You should create a free Otter.ai account before trying to follow this tutorial. All right, I just found a typo. Oh, man. I wonder, did I fix that online first? Okay, hang on. I have to do some shenanigans here. Save. Yeah, I could go ahead and save. I need to edit this file, and I need to make sure that it's already got that mistake hasn't already been fixed by refreshing. Okay, so let me close that and open this one. Because Sandy said there were no typos, which makes me think maybe I fixed this. Full review. Oh, I got to go into the preview here. Yeah, where did I find that mistake? It's funny, as soon as I step away from it, I often can't see the mistake. It was a weirdly placed comma. Base import all record. I did full review. Otter.ai is a transcription. Now I can't see it. So it's either not there or I can't see it the second time. All right, I'm going to assume I didn't screw it up. I mean, that I fixed it already. We'll find out. Yeah, but we both checked it. So I must have fixed it when I went through and so I push it up to the website. Then I go edit on the website. I need to refresh my local client to get the last version that I did up there so they can get out of sync pretty easily.
Do you want me to check something?
Well, I don't remember where it was, so.
What was it?
Somewhere in the section, what you'll need towards the second half, I think it's after the loopback part, there's a mistake. There was a mistake, but I think I must have fixed it. I think it's okay. All right. Okay, now we've got basically our parts list. This is everything we're going to need. Now we need to set up each application in order to route the audio. And let's start with loopback. Using loopback, create a simple pass-through virtual device and name it otter.ai. I left the output channels to stereo. I'm not 100% certain whether it has to be stereo or whether mono would work. But you basically just create a new virtual device. You make it a pass-through device, and you save it and call it otter.ai. You're absolutely done with loopback. You've created your virtual device. Now in Audio Hijack, you'll create the audio flow. If you're unfamiliar with Audio Hijack, the help files are very useful for getting started. But if you want a full video tutorial to be completely spoon-fed, I created one over at Screencast Online. Now remember, Screencast Online is a subscription service, but there is a free trial that lets you watch the entire back catalog, including my Audio Hijack tutorial. All right, now you know everything about how to do Audio Hijack. We're going to create a new session in Audio Hijack. First, put in an audio source input block on the top line and change that to your microphone. So in the screenshots, you'll see my microphone interface is called Shure MVI. So you got an audio source input block, and that's your microphone. Next, you're going to pull in two channels blocks, one after the other. This is really crazy. You're going to set one to duplicate left and the second one to kill right. This odd combination will put the audio from your mic alone on the left channel. So you're going to be able to hear yourself on your left ear alone. Next, you're going to put an application source on the second line, and you're going to change it to your voice over IP application. So Skype in this example. You're going to do the reverse of this channel blocks dance. This time, you're going to duplicate right, kill left. This is going to put your caller on the right channel alone. So your voice has been duplicated on the left, and your caller is going to be duplicated on your right. Now put an output device in line between the two sources for your own headphones. So you've got these two lines, and you're going to have your headphone block, and that's going to allow you to be able to hear your speaker, again, in your right ear. Now in the screenshot, it says speaker. That's what my headphones are called. It's very confusing. All right. Next, you're going to add a second audio output device. So we've got your voice on one line. We've got the person you're talking to on the other line, and we are listening. But we need to add another output device and choose the otter.ai virtual audio device you created. All right. So without loopback, that step would not be possible because it's not a real device. It doesn't exist. And you can't use your headphones as an input to something else. It has to be an input kind of device. So this otter.ai virtual audio device will be the input to the next application. Finally, don't forget to add a recorder output so you record your own conversation and set the quality to your own requirements. I choose uncompressed AIFF for the highest quality for my podcast recordings. I included my audio hijack session as a download in this tutorial because that'll save you some time of building it yourself. If you once you have audio hijack, just download this file, unzip it, and simply double click the session file to import it into audio hijack. Don't forget to modify the input mic and output speakers to your own hardware and make sure it's choosing the right application. All right, that was the hard part. We're past all the hard part. Next, you're going to open up System Preferences, and in the Sound Preferences, select the Input tab. And you're going to choose Otter.ai as the input device in Sound Preferences. Because of the session we created in Audio Hijack, the input device, Otter.ai, will have your voice on the left channel and your caller on the right channel. Now we're going to go into Skype. In your voice application or your voice over IP application, like Skype, set the input to your microphone. Note that you don't want to use Otter.ai as the input device. And you can see I've got mine set to my Shure MVI interface in the screenshot. Finally, well, maybe not finally. Yes, finally, in terms of setup, we need to work in Chrome. This process may work in other browsers, but for some reason, it seems that Chrome works better than other browsers for doing audio and video input to a web service. Microsoft Edge, which is based on Chromium, also works well. In the browser URL field in Chrome, enter, well, I've got a thing in the show notes. I'm not going to read it out to you, but you're basically going to go into Chrome settings and find the microphone settings and ensure that the microphone is set to default Otter.ai virtual. Now, I don't know what would happen if you didn't check this, but I think it's a good idea to check it. The reason I'm saying to use Chrome or Edge is because this is an option. You can change what the input is. I couldn't get it to work in Safari. There may be a workaround, but I couldn't get it to work. All right, we've got all our pieces together. Start your Skype call, start the audio hijack session that you created. Then on the Otter.ai website, you simply click the record button. If everything is working properly, you'll see the little waveform wiggling when you or your caller speak into your microphones. One of the amazing features of Otter.ai is that it will separate the different voices into different separate sections. After you call, you can name a couple of the voice identifications, and the service will rename all of them in the entire recording based on the voice it heard. So I can say, okay, this is Allison's voice. This is Bart's voice. This is Allison's voice. This is Bart's voice. After doing a couple, it goes, okay, I got it. I know whose voice is whose. And it'll put the words on it. So in the show notes, I called the nice Skype testing lady, and you can see in the show notes of the screenshot that it worked. You can see the transcription says, hello, welcome to Skype call testing service. After the beep, please record a message. Afterwards, your message will be played back to you. That's exactly what she said. I think Otter.ai is a phenomenal tool for so many uses. The transcription isn't perfect, but for AI-driven transcription, it's pretty darn good. If perfect transcription is your expectation, you can use the Otter.ai interface to edit while you listen to gain that perfection for yourself. In any case, I hope that this tutorial helps you to create even more valuable and accessible content for your listeners. There we go. I met the Skype lady. She ain't that nice. I am so excited about this. I give them the link to Dean a little early because I posted a blog post today of the conversation you're going to hear with Dean later in the show, and it's all done on with Otter.ai. I did not do any corrections.
You want me to post that now?
Yeah, would you mind? Just so
Sure.
people can have something to read while I do the pledge break. Okay, pledge break. Our hero of the week is good friend of the show. Gotta say, no, can't pronounce one word right. Our hero of the week is good friend of the show, Troy Shimkus. Troy is our hero because he is the latest NosillaCastaway to become a patron. He simply went to podfeet.com/Patreon and he selected a dollar amount to pledge to help the show each week, and he was done. I know these are hard-earned dollars, But here's how Troy explained his decision to pledge that money. He took stock of the services he gets for free, like entertainment and news. He decided that he should be contributing more to those that he finds great value in. He said he gave me and Ken Ray the Patreon deal, and he finally got a digital subscription to his local paper because they provide value as well. Thank you, Troy, for becoming our hero of the week. All right. You and Ken, I need to change that.
So has Troy been in the chat room before?
Yeah, and he's been on the show.
Yeah,
I think he was on Chit Chat.
Mm-hmm.
And there we go. All right. Money, money, money. Money! You know, to be honest, don't tell anybody else this, but I would rather have people in the live show than have people contributing. Like if everybody who's ever come to the live show was a patron and nobody came to the live show, that would not be, I don't know that I would keep doing this. I mean, it's so meaningful to me to have people to talk to. I mean that from the bottom of my heart. So, not that you're off the hook if you want to. I mean, if you really want to, it's fine. That's how I feel about it.
That's all I'm saying.
That's all I'm trying to say. How about you, Steve? Do you agree?
Or
do you want the money?
No, I get a little more value, quite a bit more value out of the participation in the chat room.
I think Steve likes the chat room even more than I do.
Well, am I allowed to say
He gets
that?
all excited when it's Sunday night. It's like, yay, we're going to see our friends. Wait, you got 30 cents? Wow. Yeah, you might need to do a PayPal donation with that kind of money. If I like tequila, I would ask people to sign up for Patron.
Patron.
All right, let's see. Our hero of the week. A couple of years ago, I went to the Four Moms booth and I saw what's called the Mamaroo, and I got very excited about it. We did an interview and spoke to people here. And then, as some of you know, my daughter is pregnant, and we actually got her one of these for our impending grandchild. But I'm with Amy Stanton, and it looks like they have some other products, and maybe you can bring us up to speed on the Mamaroo first and move on.
Yeah, we're so excited you have the Mamaroo and some grandchildren on the way.
Yay. Boy, she's got a nice voice. She sounds better than I do. All
so
right.
You may have noticed there are a few baby products that we interviewed this year at CES. I wonder
baby
what that
products,
is.
cat litter, and a lobster trap.
And a lobster trap. They go together so well.
All right.
Baby needs a new lobster.
Man, this is gonna be a long show. We're 32 minutes, and I've got 4 things left.
You have 9 posts in this.
Do I?
Yes.
I'm sorry. Okay.
You're killing Frank here.
You know, I was gonna make a crack, but I couldn't figure out how to say it exactly right. I was gonna make a crack about how we added another video this week because Frank said he wanted more videos. All right.
Well, you could throw that in. Because we did add a 5th, right? With the
yeah.
The Hindi guys?
Yeah. Okay, I need to do this one. Currency rates go wrong. This one doesn't fit in this show at all, but Bart made me do it.
All right.
And I'm going to throw him under the bus because I don't think it belongs in here. So you guys can take a nap.
Wait, you're throwing your co-host under the bus?
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
He's not here.
And he never listens to the show, so.
No, he does listen to the show. That's not going to keep me from throwing him under the bus. You know me. I'll throw anybody under the bus except for Sandy. All right, here we go. Now, I'm not entirely sure that this next subject belongs in the NosillaCast, but Bart was quite insistent that I write it up, so you get to listen to it. In Programming by Stealth, we've been working on a little web app that will do currency conversions. BART gives us a lot of latitude on how we solve the homework challenges, only having an end condition in the requirements. In the first iteration of our web app, the user was to choose a base currency and then choose a selection of countries to show the conversion. At this point, the conversion was simply from one unit of the base country to all of the other countries' currencies. So, for example, one New Zealand dollars equals how many Mexican pesos and Danish krone. By the way, it's 12.08 and 4.44 respectively at the moment that I wrote up the show notes. Anyway, we were to display the answer to the user using what are called bootstrap cards. They're nice little contained areas with the desired information styled nicely without too much work by the developer. Once we had that task conquered, he suggested we take it up a notch and allow the user to ask for a specific number of the base unit currency to be converted. As in our previous example, to show that 5 New Zealand dollars is 22.20 Danish krone and 60.38 Mexican pesos. During his review of the solution to the challenge, we were talking about how we rounded the currency conversions to the nearest two decimals. I was thinking out loud during the show, and I pondered whether all currencies actually use two decimals. Bart responded that he presumed they all did. L. Butler on Twitter wrote to us after the episode aired, noting two things. First of all, he found a mistake in Bart's math on his solution. And second of all, he noted that some currencies have no decimal places at all. In fact, the two currencies that showed an error in math on Bart's solution were both without decimals, Korean won and Japanese yen. In both cases, their conversion rate is very high as a ratio to US dollars, 1180 to 1 and 110 to 1, respectively. Bart's method of rounding only showed the error when converting these high ratio currencies. Bart wrote up how he figured out the problem and how he solved it in a blog post he did over at bartbuchatz.ie. It's not what it's called, is it? Is it really bartbuchatz.ie? I always call it bartb.ie. Maybe it is.
I think it's Bart B. Maybe he resolves that too. BartB.ie is what I thought it was.
Yeah, but I think it's bartbuchatz.ie is the whole thing. Save. I will.
But no one knows how to spell Bouchatz, so I think he
Yeah.
went ahead and did Bart B.
Yeah. Okay, mute yourself, please. Wait, what are you doing? Import. That's not what I meant to do. L. Butler's comment about the decimals got me to thinking about whether there's a way I could know how many decimals each currency used and if I could programmatically change my code to take it into account. And that's when Bart said I owed it to the community to write it up when I figured it out, and that is why we're here now. As I said, Bart gives us a lot of flexibility in how we solved the problem. He gave us a link to a website that allowed you to fetch data from it for the current exchange rates for 33 countries. That website, that API, is called api.exchangerate.io. So that's our source data for the real time exchange rate. But on that site, we could only pull the rate and currency code, such as like USD or ISK, but it did not contain the human readable currency names such as US dollar and Iceland krona in my example. While some people solving the problem simply looked them up and added them manually to the lookup dictionary for the task, I did something slightly more clever, in my humble opinion. I found the ISO 4217 database where all of the currency names and currency codes are defined. I say I found it on my own, which is technically true, but later when I look back at Bart's show notes, I discovered he actually did tell us about its existence. I just didn't pay attention. I independently found it. Okay, so now I've got the currency codes and the currency rates in one file, and I've got the currency codes and currency names in another file. Took me a while, but I figured out how to manipulate them until I had all three pieces of information in one lookup table. So I had currency name, currency code, and currency rate. That was a big achievement. That took me a couple of weeks. Now that I had all three in one place, I could look them up and plop them into my cards, allow me to display one in USD converts to one parentheses KRW, and then put in 1180.14. While the math is correct, we don't really want it to say 1180.14. We want it to say 1180, thanks to our little friend L. Butler. Now, I opened the file I downloaded from the ISO 4217 site. Okay, I got to stop. I have had to take like 14 screenshots. I found so many mistakes. 4217. That one is not anybody's fault but mine. I've got to back in and fix these because there's too many. 427. 4217. Okay, I can close that one. There's spaces missing. This one is a mess. eg.u. There it is. There's no space between eg and u. I can get rid of that one. I've taken like 5 screenshots. It's really hard to keep these in my head. Delete that one. Was that one? As in our previous example, has a period afterwards, and that was not the end of the sentence.
Did anyone review this?
I don't know.
Apparently not.
I don't know if Sandy had to do this one.
I don't think she did. No, she didn't.
Yeah, she would have found it. Oh, and I fixed that one already. That's the tail problem. Okay. Whew. All right, where was I? What are you laughing at?
A few comments.
I opened the file I downloaded from the... Okay. I mean, I'm expecting I'll find more, but now I can to work here. All right. I opened the file I downloaded from the ISO 4217 site to see what other fields might be available to me. I was delighted to find a field that for most currencies said, quote, minor unit, unquote, :2. But for Korean won and Japanese yen, it said minor unit was 0. I knew I was onto something. I then found that Chile's secondary currency, Unidad de Fomento, said minor unit 4. I did a search of the internets and I confirmed that this currency does indeed show 4 decimal places. Now, I'm not going to go through all of the countries that have a different number of decimals because ISO 4217 has 279 currencies, but I did find some with 3 decimals, which I also found interesting. Unfortunately, of the 33 countries in our lookup table for today's currency rates, only won and yen have other than 2 decimals. I was really hoping to have more to show off my code if I succeeded. All right, since I'd already cracked the code on how to mash the ISO 4217 currency names into the file from exchangerate.io with the currency codes and rates, it was a small matter to add a few lines of code to add in the minor unit into it and then access and display it. But I got garbage out. Euro and other currencies incorrectly displayed with no decimals, and still others correctly showed 2. Well, I dug into my ISO 4217 list and I found that many currencies showed a minor unit of null. The more I looked at this file, the more I realized it had lots of weird data in it, and my source of xe.com for that file was suspicious. I'm not sure how I got to that source, but I later on went to the official ISO.org site, iso.org/ISO 4217 currency codes.html. You'd want to know that, David. Anyway, I found the official data file, which I could display as an XML file or download as XLS. Looking back, I really probably should have started with the XLS, but I figured that since XML is just a text file, lost my cursor. Okay, because I found another typo. Now that I'm stopped. And XLS. What was wrong with that? I really should the XLS. Oh, that's not. I could display the XML or download an XLS. Oh, shoot. There's nothing wrong with that. Never mind.
How about the was suspect versus suspicious? Do you care about that?
No.
Okay.
But I figured that since XML is just a text file, looking back, yeah, no, I think that's okay. I just said suspicious because it worked better. Okay. No. What are you doing? Looking back, I really should have started with the XLS, but I figured that since XML is just a text file with some delimiters, it would be easy to adapt the syntax to a JSON file. That jargon means that the XML file put terms inside angle brackets like greater than, less than symbols instead of quotes like I needed it in JSON. I needed it to be currency code in quotes. I figured a simple search and replace would be easy. I then realized that the terminology was somewhat different as well. In the XML file, it said CTRYNM for country name, but in my JSON format, it needed to be simply name. This would have been a lot easier in Excel than in a text editor. Oh well, live and learn. Use Excel for everything. Once I had the data formatted correctly, my mashed sources together code worked flawlessly. The currency lookups returned the correct answer for decimals, and I am now proudly displaying won and yen with no decimals. Even better, if exchangerate.io ever adds a 24th country like Tunisian dinars, my tables will automatically display them correctly with 3 decimals. If you'd like to play with my currency conversion web app, I put a link in the show notes. I have a warning for you, though. It's a work in progress, so some parts of it may not be working right when you play with it. For example, as of this moment, there's a tab called Grid that has only static data in it right now, and the toggles on that tab are adding a few things to the first tabs. But anyway, play with it if you like. There we go.
So Klaus may have found something.
What's that?
I think he was saying that only U.S. and Canadian dollars were showing in his page.
In his page.
Says it always shows U.S. and Canadian dollars in addition to what I select. Must be, he says must be user error, but
Yeah, no. So so in the second tab that says grid, I have some code that's running on that side that says toggle on those 2 currencies, and that's affecting the first tab. So this is part of that work in progress thing. So and yet it's not showing that the tabs, the toggles have been switched. So I've been I started this gets so confusing, but I started using Git, which allows me to roll back to previous versions, but I don't know how to get those versions back out of Git to get the right one up on that link I put up there. It's a glitch. So I should be able to just shove the right code up there, but I can't find the right one. I can't remember how to get it up there. I've tried and I failed. So that's why it's goofy. I'm trying not to do that. So yeah, it's not operator trouble. Because in the next homework, we're supposed to have a grid, like, you know, the grids that are on maps where it'll say, like paper maps, where it'll say a bunch of cities down a column and a bunch of cities across the top. And you can say, how far is it from San Francisco to Los Angeles? And you drag your finger down the 2 lines, it'll show you the number. We're supposed to be creating something like that. And that is what I'm doing, but I'm not done with it yet. So that's why that's there. But, and one of the requirements is some of the switches have to be automatically loaded to start with. So now we're looking at smart diapers
that John just posted.
Well, that's real.
I know. It's just the graphic is off.
It looks like, right?
Yes.
And that's funny. All right. So where am I? Preview.
We are at the docking station.
Yes. Pluggable it is. And there's only 1 G in pluggable. I think this docking station is dumb.
Because of the lack of USB-Cs?
Yeah.
Yeah, and he was featuring that like it was a great feature, but it may have been that they couldn't get USB-C connectors, so they just settled with A's.
Yeah. Okay, so Klaus, you're telling me how to roll back. I don't know how to do that, but I also don't want to roll back to the old version. So glitch is just a copy of all of my code. What I want to do is go back in my Git history, find a specific state, and download those files and upload them up to glitch, or connect to them from glitch. Actually, glitch couldn't go directly to glitch connects to GitHub. I may be able to tell it which version in GitHub to show. Git grub. You know how to do that.
You might want to trademark that, John.
Yeah. All right. So next is pluggable. Well, this isn't going to be too long of a show. What's that?
Klaus says you need branches.
I do. Well, no, it's a version. Like, I finished the homework that should be what's showing on that site well, plus the new minor unit stuff for the decimals. And I want to grab that version and put it on Glitch. But I'm
Maybe
still
that's where
working on
you should have
advancement.
branched.
No, it's not a branch.
Well,
it's the
no,
next
that way-
progression.
I know, but I'm saying if you are good with a version you've got and now you're trying something new, isn't that a nice point to branch? So you can always go back to something that
No,
works?
it's the next evolution. A branch is where you've got two ideas going on at the same time.
But if that's the case, why can't you just go back to the thing that worked?
You don't know what this thing looks like.
Okay.
There's a bunch of versions, and I don't want to roll back. I need to go get it and download it. I want it in a pile over here. I don't want. It's okay, Klaus. I hate it when mom and dad fight, Marty says. You fit in so well here, Marty, man. It's like you just slipstream right into the obnoxiousness here. It's great. I love it. You're somewhere between Frank and Kevin, I think, in silliness there.
Don't make us pull this car over, Marty.
Don't make us pull this podcast over.
Yeah.
Play with it if you like.
Well, you guys know
Okay. I'm going to be obnoxious about this. I hope you're muted.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you.
All right.
So I think that the docking station that he was talking about is really best for people who maybe don't want to move forwards in technology. And it took me a long time to actually figure out what he was really saying is they've got a dock that'll take a Thunderbolt cable from your Mac into what looks like a USB Type-C connector. And from then on, don't worry your pretty little head about all this newfangled USB Type-C stuff. So like I've got a backup drive that is a USB-C connector. I wouldn't be able to plug into that. It has tons of USB-A ports. So if you want to stay stuck in the past on USB-A, you go, girl, and you go get this. This is the dock for you. But if you've just bought a new Mac that has all these nice USB-C ports, why would you go backwards? But anyway, maybe that's just me.
So just to be clear, the capability to transmit data is still there. It's just the format of the connectors that's not moving forward. It's still got Thunderbolt 3 capability and all the speeds. And
well, yeah. And it's it's taking Thunderbolt 3 from your Mac and then uses that channel to go to HDMI and things like that.
Yeah, DisplayPort.
But it's
that was kind of nice that it had both DisplayPort and HDMI out.
Yeah, they all do.
But he had two of each. Okay.
Yeah, two of each. Two of each, really?
Yeah, two of each. One. No FireWire, John.
Yeah.
No FireWire. That's.
Hindenburg. Now it's Hindenburg. This is going to be too long.
What are we at here? Let's.
I'm
47.
46. Hiccups again.
Oh no.
They're going to end up having to see me do my secret method.
No. Here, I'm going to show you full screen.
No, stop it.
You better?
I think so. Just be quiet here. Anyway, maybe that's just me.
I do most of the podcast mixing for the NosillaCast and for Chit Chat Across the Pond using a tool called Hindenburg. And I have tracked down Chuck Wang at the podcast movement in order to talk to him about Hindenburg. And the main reason I wanted to talk to you guys is so that other people that listen to the
Okay, he's not listening to me. Go full screen on NDI.
Oh, I see.
Because this is Hindenburg. This is the tool he's talking about.
Show could learn how the tool I love so much works for me. So welcome to the show here.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
All right. So
I say so too often. All the freaking time.
Anyway.
Well, I like anyway because it's like I'm just going. Anyway,
like
well,
it
has a meaning.
Anyway.
What is so? No, listen. No, don't start listening because it'll bother you guys as much as it bothers me. But I started hearing it. Shut up. I wish I could mute you tonight. Actually, I'm going to hit mute and I'm going to say mute. I want to see if I can hear you. Okay, talk to me. Oh, it is muting. It's just not showing it. Normally, the little red line disappears on my
I've just been
tool.
unmuting
Oh, it's
immediately.
obnoxious. Go away. Hey. Okay. I think he's muted.
Well, Chris, Nick, everyone else.
Well, that was a lot of fun talking to Chuck. And afterwards, I got Chuck to teach me how to do something on Hindenburg that's been driving me crazy. I've done it the hard way all along, and I'm super excited. It is not interesting at all to you guys, but I'm going to tell you about it anyway. The way the music is ducked under my voice at the end of the show and then it comes up, I've been doing that manually every single week because all of my attempts to save a pre-ducked version of that didn't work, and he showed me how to do it. So this week will be the debut of my new ducked music. And like I said, I didn't think you cared. Anyway, let's hear from Dean next. Oh, wait. Anyway, I heard it.
So
Anyway.
is this the one that I already posted?
Posted? What do you mean?
You asked me to post something about Dean's experience. Oh, no. That was the transcription of his call. Not
Yeah, I posted
this
it.
post.
I didn't.
No, I mean in the chat room.
Yes, this can be Dean's. Okay. I want to read the intro to. Okay. Let's see. Oh, I should put a link to Dean's. This one. Dean deals with the lost phone. Suzanne's excited because she ended up with a new phone.
Yeah. Like it might have been planned.
Yeah. She said she doesn't care if he did it on purpose. Because, they got the phone back.
Yes, I saw that. And now she has a phone.
Yeah.
A new
I
phone.
think she had an iPhone 6 or something before that. Luddite. Anyway, okay. This next interview you're going to hear is with my buddy Dean, and I wanted to tell you that I used Otter.ai to transcribe this conversation you're about to hear, and I want you to tell me what you think of this. I made it a separate blog post, and I want to tell you, I have made no effort to edit this transcript. It's going to have mistakes in it. That's just the way it's going to be if I do this. Otter.ai does recognize when different people are talking, and from there you can tell it which voice is on. In just a couple of examples, you can tell it which one is which, and that fills in the rest of the names, like I was talking about earlier. And you can tell in this transcript if Dean and I talked over each other, so the name of who is talking might be a little mixed up. But this is an experiment that doesn't cost me a dime, and I'd like to have feedback on whether you like it. If you're listening to this, you're probably not going to go read it anyway. But I did want to tell you that transcript is available. And, it's going to take me maybe 15 minutes to do this each time I have audio that has no script. I don't think I'm going to make time to ever edit these transcripts. So judge the value on what you see in this particular conversation. And go make posts over on our comments over on that post, or you can put it in our Slack, or you can put it on Facebook, wherever you like to put it. But after all that, let's just hear this great story from Dean.
I think Tesla just wanted herself known there.
Did she? Hi, Tessa. Dean.
So I think you should play Dean's full thing.
Yeah, I'm going. Oh, the whole thing?
Yeah.
All right.
It's not that long, right? Maybe 3 minutes. We have 2 minutes. Maybe you have to cut them off at 2. Oh, Tesla. Okay, you're
all right. Here we go. This is kind of a fun story. This great story from Dean. My buddy Dean is here visiting from out of town, and he has a really cool tech story. Well, it starts with kind of a man failure, but it eventually works into a great use of tech. How you doing tonight, Dean?
I'm doing wonderful.
Thanks for dinner, by the way.
Oh, you're welcome for dinner. Well, you did pay the $4 for parking.
That's right. So it's like
we're even.
It's like we split it.
We're even.
So you flew in from out of town to LA, and what happened?
Well, yeah. Well, the first thing you have to know is that I fly for a living. I do this all the time. This isn't like my first time getting on an airplane. So I land in LAX, and I have a slightly different morning in that I don't have to get to a client. I'm going to visit my sister, And
Actually, the plane was half empty, which I think that probably threw you off.
it did. It was a very empty plane. I get off the plane, I get through the airport rather quickly, and then I'm in the LAX hell of going to get the rental car. So you sit on this tram forever, this bus, and you get dropped off, and I sit in the rental car and I reach over to pick up my phone and realize at that moment my phone is in the seat back and it's on its way to El Paso, Texas.
Oh, no.
Now, the problem is my phone is my office. I work from home and everything is in my phone. So I don't know my sister's phone number. I don't know my sister's address.
And that's where you're going for lunch right now.
Well, I'm going to her house and I've been there once before because she moved recently, but I don't really remember where it's at. I know it's in Redondo, but that's about the end of it. And I don't have a phone. So I can't call my wife to ask her all that pertinent detail because I don't have a phone. So I did remember that I had an iPad, but my iPad was a Wi-Fi only iPad. So the iPad is kind of stupid, but lo and behold, it had my contacts in there, which was helpful. And I used
Okay, I think I should cut it off. I mean, if Frank's leaving, I should just finish the show.
That's
Nobody's
some
even going to see.
impressive transcription, though.
Do you think so?
I think it's pretty good. So you've already gotten one comment on Facebook about it. I don't know if that's representative, just one comment.
Oh, they didn't like it?
You should read it. I'm not going to lead the witness.
Okay.
I don't want to say
Maybe I
anything
should have
here.
made it clear that it's this or nothing.
That's what, and I thought that might be the misunderstanding, so I made that clear, and the person already understood that.
Oh, okay. So
you should read. You
obnoxious.
should read the comment. No, they were being very respectful.
Look at these. Make NDI full screen.
All right.
Look at these two little blue triangles. What the heck are
What are-
those?
Those are markers.
No, they're not. Markers
Well,
show up here.
Did
I
you hit,
literally have
like
no idea what
tab
that is.
or what did you-
Maybe. I don't know what that is. I
Did you
can
hit
I
M?
can call it boo. No, that doesn't make it boo. I can. That is weird. I don't know.
Can
I
you
don't
hit
have any
delete?
idea.
Actually, you might be careful with
Yeah,
delete.
no, I don't want to do that. Let me hear how this ends.
All right. Thanks, Dean. That's a great story.
Okay, bye, Allison.
Okay, let's see, what else did we say?
Cool. Did you record it?
Oh, okay. That's interesting. That happens to be right where I want to cut to. Okay. Save.
Okay, bye, Allison.
Well, I hope you guys enjoyed that conversation. Oh, and I should mention one more thing. On the Otter.ai transcription, you're either going to get that or you're going to get nothing. Again, people listening, you probably don't care, but if you are somebody who normally likes to read, I want you to know that you're only going to get that or nothing. I'm not going to spend the time, like I said, to go ahead and do a lot of editing to it or create a script other than that. But anyway, I thought Dean's story was pretty good. And his phone did finally come back to a vacation in Tennessee that it took after it went to Texas. And now it is Dean's lovely wife, Suzanne's new phone. So everybody wins. Well, that's going to wind us up for this week. I hope you enjoyed the show. Do not forget to send in your dumb questions, comments, suggestions. You can do that by emailing me at allison@podfeet.com. You can follow me on Twitter @podfeet. Remember, everything good starts with podfeet.com. You want to become a patron like Troy Shimkus did? podfeet.com/Patreon. Want to give a one-time donation like the 30-cent pension increase that Sandy got? Do that at podfeet.com/PayPal. Want to join the conversation? Join our Slack group over at podfeet.com/Slack or our Facebook group at podfeet.com/Facebook. And if you want to join in the fun of the live show, head on over to podfeet.com/live on Sunday nights at 5 p.m. Pacific time and join the friendly and enthusiastic NosillaCastaways. Thanks for listening and stay subscribed. All right. And now here's my new outro. Boom.
Wait,
Did you miss it?
just do that again.
Oh.
Delete
Okay,
and do
watch.
it again.
See how it's coming in? See how it's got that
Where's it coming
chunk
from?
out of it there?
It's as if by magic.
Thanks for listening. And wait.
Wait, oh, no.
Wait, Castaways. Thanks for listening and stay subscribed. Actually, a little earlier than I wanted, but it's fine.
No.
Oh, you liked it?
Yeah, you mean the duck up, the volume
Yeah.
up? No,
I
that's
thought
not
it
too
ducked
early.
a little early.
No,
Okay. Subscribe.
that's better.
Okay. Not quite where I thought it would be. All right. We better count chapter marks. You're saying I should have 9?
That's how many I.
1,
That's how
2,
many.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Okay, let's go down the run. Chit chat
Okay.
first.
I don't usually do chit chat.
Okay, so there's
Celestron?
Celestron, Hydro,
Yeah.
VoIP, Skype, Rogue,
Yeah.
Amoeba,
Uh-huh.
Mamaru.
I don't see Mamaru.
Kevin. I think he
Kevin?
told you. No, Kevin told you, and
No.
someone didn't
no.
follow directions.
No. Kevin blew it. You know how he is.
No, I'm throwing myself in front of your slings and arrows of outrageous fortune.
Okay. There's of what?
Never mind.
Mamaru. Okay, so what else am I missing?
Kevin's enjoying himself.
Mamaru. And link. All right. So what's after Mamaru?
Next is when decimals go wrong.
Yeah. Got it.
Pluggable.
Yeah.
Hindenburg.
Yeah.
Lost iPhone.
Okay, that's only 8.
Right, because you don't do chit chat. I had chit chat,
1,
which
2,
makes
3,
it 9.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I mean, I could do chit chat if you want.
Well,
What do you guys think? Put chit chat in? You guys know how
for
to find chit chat.
completeness,
Tom Steven.
Marty, I think he is awake. I think
okay.
that's a laugh, not a snore.
All right. Kind of a
That's pretty
pain to
good.
do.
What? Oh,
What number of chit chat was it? Somebody
I'm sorry.
look up.
It is 625.
625. There we go.
I have the link. You want me to just give it to you?
No, I got it. All right. I gave you 9 I hope you're happy.
There you go. You should always put it chit chat.
All right. Yeah.
Yes, he will, Marty.
He's going to eat me.
He's been known to.
How do you think he got so big? All right. I think we are a wrap. But now he's not big. He's medium in Virginia.
Fish.
Have you changed your Twitter name yet, Kevin?
No, he hasn't. He's got to lose a full Steve before he's medium in Virginia.
Oh, I bet he's lost to Steve, hasn't he?
Not quite.
You only weigh about 85 pounds, wringing wet.
Not true.
Not true. Okay, fine. Steve has porked up since I met him. He was a 28-inch waist when I met him. All right, I think we should call it. Rose is not here to kiss goodbye, but I'm going to kiss everybody goodbye, including Sandy. Bye, everybody. Wait. Bye.
Bye, Baby Yoda.
Shh. The child says goodbye. Don't get it wrong.
Good night, Gracie.
Bye, everybody.